Chapter 1. The Flowers That Started a Fire. She always told me she didn't need grand gestures, just small, meaningful things. A flower on a random Tuesday. A kiss on the forehead after a long day. So when she asked me to pick her up for dinner, bring her flowers, and do the classic romantic movie entrance, I thought, sure, why not? But the day got away from me. I forgot the flowers. Panicking, I ordered them through the same app we used to get milk and bread. When she got in the car, she lit up seeing them. Said they were beautiful. Smiled that smile I married her for. I should have just left it at that. But I said it. No worries, I just got them off the app. I can send you flowers every day if you want. Her smile froze. She turned to look at me, and I saw the disappointment bloom in her eyes faster than those flowers ever could. She whispered, "You just ordered them, like groceries?" I tried to laugh it off, but it only made her angrier. She said the gesture meant nothing if there was no real thought. Said she felt like a task I was trying to complete, not someone being loved. I felt heat rise in my chest. Was the gift thoughtless, or are you thankless? I snapped. She froze. Her lip trembled. And then the tears came. I couldn't take it. I didn't want to fight. So I did the worst thing possible. I left her crying in the car and walked away. I thought I was proving a point. But it turns out, I was the one about to be proven wrong. Chapter 2. Her silence hurt louder than her tears. I sat upstairs staring at the ceiling. The dinner reservation time passed. My phone stayed quiet. I expected angry texts. Maybe a voice message. But nothing. The silence was louder than the fight. I peeked out the window. Her car was gone. She'd left. For the first time since we got married, I wondered, had I finally pushed her too far? That night she didn't come to bed. I assumed she went to the guest room. I told myself I didn't care. Told myself I had a right to feel hurt. But it's hard to hold on to pride when your heart feels like it's been carved out and left behind. The next morning she wasn't in the kitchen. The flowers I gave her? Gone. I felt something crack inside me, a mix of guilt, regret, and the kind of fear that sneaks up when love starts to slip through your fingers. I went to work without saying goodbye. Just sat at my desk, pretending to care about numbers and emails while my chest tightened with every minute that passed. Then my phone buzzed. It was her. A single text. A photo of the flowers, arranged neatly in a vase on our dining table. Her message followed. They were never the problem. And in that moment I realized, I never understood what was. Chapter 3. The Words I Never Meant to Say. Her message sat on my screen like a mirror I didn't want to look into. They were never the problem. So, what was? I spent my lunch break pacing the parking lot. I replayed everything, the look in her eyes when I told her how easy it was to get the flowers, the way my words cut deeper than I intended. I had thought I was being honest. But honesty without empathy? That's just cruelty in disguise. I texted her back. I told her I was sorry. Not for forgetting the flowers. But for forgetting her heart in the process. She didn't respond right away. But hours later, a message came through. Can we talk tonight? When I got home, the lights were dim. The house was quiet, heavy with something unsaid. I found her in the guest room. She looked tired. Not angry, just tired of pretending everything was fine. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She just spoke. She told me she'd been holding on to unrealistic expectations, trying to script a fairy tale where every gesture looked like it came from a movie. And in doing that, she admitted she'd stopped seeing the love behind the gesture, and started judging the performance instead. But then she paused, looked right at me, and asked the one question I wasn't ready for. When did we stop feeling like teammates? Chapter 4. When love is heard, not just shown. Her question echoed louder than any fight we'd ever had. When did we stop feeling like teammates? I stood frozen in the doorway, the weight of her words pressing down like gravity. I wanted to say never. That we always had each other's backs. But the truth sat bitter in my mouth. We hadn't been on the same side in a while. She said she missed me. Not the me who buys flowers. Not the me who holds doors. But the one who listened. The one who didn't make her feel like she was too much for wanting to be loved out loud. I sat beside her. Took her hand. And for the first time in a long time, we didn't speak like opponents trying to win an argument. We spoke like two people trying not to lose each other. I told her how helpless I'd felt when my efforts never seemed enough. How I wanted so badly to be the man she dreamed of, but sometimes I didn't know how. She said she never wanted perfection. Just presence. Just intention. And for a moment, we both cried. The quiet kind, the kind that says more than words ever could. Then she smiled through her tears. Reached behind the nightstand. And pulled out something I wasn't expecting. Chapter 5. the love behind the petals. She pulled out the same bouquet. The one I thought she had thrown away. Still fresh. Still placed gently in a glass vase, wrapped in a soft ribbon she must have tied herself. She looked at me and said, "Even though I was upset that night, I couldn't bring myself to throw them out. Because you still got me flowers. You still showed up." I felt a lump rise in my throat. She told me she had placed them on the dining table the next morning. Not out of guilt, but because somewhere deep down she knew I meant well. And she wanted me to see they still mattered to her. "I kept them," she said, "because they were a reminder that even when we fall short, we're still trying." That broke me. Not in a bad way, but in the kind of way that makes space for something new to grow. We talked late into the night, not just about flowers or feelings, but about how to meet each other halfway. How to stop keeping score. How to show up for love without needing it to be perfect. The next week we redid our date. This time I picked her up with a bouquet I got from a real florist, the one she loved. I opened the car door. Held her hand through dinner. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. But before we left that night, I did one last thing. I placed the original flowers from the app right next to the new ones, on our table side by side. Because sometimes, love isn't in the grand gesture or the flawless plan. It's in the mess, the learning, the trying. And she smiled at me like it was the first time all over again.